first time in my life I've had my bank details stolen and the bank aren't doing anything about it.
I have not made a bad financial decision in a while until yesterday. Everybody say hello to...
Girls, I'm begging you to think twice before getting a car on finance or leasing one. There are so many hidden costs that you just don't even know about in the small print. And
hi guys, welcome back to another video here at Revolux Time. Today we'll be looking at some videos about bad financial decisions, something that's probably affected all of us or some of us at some point in our lives. We'll be looking at things like bad credit card debt, bank fraud, all the way up to emotional impulse buys. If you've ever bought something and regretted it or been caught out in a scam, this video is for you guys. So let's take a look at the videos, unpack them, have a few laughs because life's too short, and get smarter about our money. Now, if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe, show some love, put some comments below, and hit the bell for further notifications so you don't miss out on any of the videos. For now, let's get into it.
Stupid financial decisions I used to make every single time I got a pay rise. Upgrading my car. Tell me why every time I got a pay rise and the promotion, job title change, I was like, this means I need a new car. Get me to that showroom. There is nothing more of a vanity metric than that, because that is like the worst financial decision I ever made. I saw the same plate as my second car, my Golf. I saw it on the motorway the other day. It looks stunning. If I had that Golf now, I would have saved thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds in car payments, thousands of pounds. I don't care about my car. That Golf was handy, I miss it. I would give myself like a treat. But the treat wouldn't be like a staple item or like something that at least retains some value, maybe like quite an expensive bag. It'd be like a middle of the range shop or like a big pretty little thing basket. So basically I'd reward myself for a level up with a lot of tat, and I don't have any of that tat. I'm such a bad person for like just clearing stuff out, but I have nothing to show. Okay,
so I think this one's super relatable. Actually, you know, people like this, you know, it's all about when you start earning more money, you have this, you know, you have all this new income, more income coming in, and immediately feel that urge to upgrade your life. You know, but the only thing is you're not really upgrading things. You're increasing your liabilities rather than making smart investments. And that's really what you should do. You should put your money into smarter investments so that you have more money at the end of the day. And this is kind of exactly what she thought at the end of the day. She got a pay rise and thought, I've got a new job. I've got to go and get myself a new car. She regrets it. You know, she had a really nice VW Golf. She saw it on the motorway, misses it. I mean, what can you do? You know, if she had kept the old car, she would have been quids in and hopefully financially better. It's just a shame that she bought things that didn't hold value. Don't make that mistake, guys. So let's have a look at some of the comments here, guys. So that last one hit hard. I've paid way too many dinners over the years. And, you know, the lady in the video replies with, same, I can't stop. It's making me uncomfortable and annoyed. So someone's saying here, priority number one, when getting a raise, increase savings and investments, then change car. That would make sense, right? So the next one's light-hearted, but unfortunately quite painful for parents. Let's take a look.
I decided to let my son play video games the other day, and he called me in and he said, Mama, please help me design my car. I said, okay, let's go in there, not knowing that my bank account was about to be slammed with a $54 charge, accidentally, not by my son, but by moi. You might be thinking, this lady's stupid. She's dumb. How can she accidentally spend $54?
I can actually believe this one. She's definitely not dumb or stupid. I've actually done this myself. Easily done. Easily done. You just don't realize there are things called in-app purchases.
I don't know. We were on a game that I have never played before. Okay. He called me in. He said, I don't want the donut wheels. I want the super fun race car wheels. It said, use this amount of coins. I said, all right, looks like we've got that amount of coins. So I pressed okay. Turns out I was charging my card. And my son knew it. Not really. He really didn't know, I don't think. Hopefully not. Can't take it back. Can't take it back. So he gets the super fancy design for his super fancy rocket car. $54 worth.
Now, I actually laughed at this one when I first saw it because I can obviously relate to it, but I also cringed for her. I mean, it's sad really. In-app purchases, like I say, it's a real thing. It's dangerous because spending feels more like tapping, not a transaction. The game said coins. Her bank said card charged. Always check parental setting, guys. Disable purchases, in-app purchases. And talk to kids about virtual spending. It all adds up really fast. So again, guys, let's have a look at some of the comments. So someone's saying, you explained this well. I'm confused as to why people seem to be confused about this being an accident. Well, I think she explained it quite well. Someone else is saying, A, you can take it back, and B, if he already had the coins, then he already charged your card for them. That is true. Definitely would be true in that one. So when I was saying turn on passwords for transactions, that would have been a smart move. This is a funny one. Call your bank and blame it on your son. They should give your money back. I don't know how your son would feel about that, but it's worth a shot. So now we're switching up tone. The next one's about bank fraud. It's a little bit intense. Let's take a look at it.
For the first time in my life, I've had my bank details stolen and the bank aren't doing anything about it. A couple months ago, I found out my card had been used to purchase 7 SeaWorld Orlando tickets for £700 on my bank card. I live in Birmingham. I wish I was in SeaWorld Orlando. Well, SeaWorld, I don't. And I immediately froze my card, but I found out because the tickets got sent to my email address. They used my card, my email, my phone number, my address. Which is stupid because I was like, why would you use my card and then send the tickets to my email? So I saw the
That is a bit fishy, isn't it? Buying something with her card but then sending it to her email.
email, thought it was spam, checked my bank and was like, no, I'm down £700. Immediately froze my bank card. 2 minutes later, they tried to make another £600 purchase. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm £700 down. It was the day I got paid as well. I was like, what the fuck? This is so much money. I eventually called the fraud team at Lloyd's because I kind of expected them to dispute it. And you get a notification being like, is this you? Nothing from them. They did it, whatever. Today, I've just found out that they've rejected it and they've taken back the £700 out of my account, which has put me in an overdraft, an unplanned overdraft. And I haven't paid any of my bills yet for this month. I am not a rich person. And I'm £750 down, and I called the bank and they were like, it's you. They were like, all the evidence points towards you buying these tickets. And I was like, but it wasn't. And I understand because they were like, it was an online purchase and the tickets were sent to your email address. And
this sort of thing can definitely happen. I've heard of this happen before, but I've never really heard of the bank not really reimbursing costs. That's a little bit scary. She just got paid and she hasn't paid any of her bills.
I was like, I get that, but it wasn't me. And also, I froze my bank card, and 2 minutes later, they tried to make a purchase again. So does that not prove it wasn't me? And they were like, no. So I don't know what to do. I'm like, I had a cry on the phone to her, and I was like, what am I supposed to do?
So this one's definitely like a financial horror story, unfortunately. She did everything right. I mean, obviously, she found out, she froze her card, called the bank, and she still got penalised. I guess the worst part is the emotional toll it takes on her. She cried on the phone, she's in an unplanned overdraft, and she's got no money for her bills. My advice is always have a little buffer fund somewhere, whether it's under the mattress or in another bank account somewhere. Even if it's just a couple of £100, it's going to get you out of a jam a little bit like this. Monitor all of your account alerts. I know that she didn't get one in this case, which is just really daft, but monitor them. If your bank won't help, definitely escalate it. Don't let them off the hook, guys. So again, guys, let's have a look at some of the comments. Could you get a refund from SeaWorld? That's actually a very good question. She probably could. Someone else is asking which bank. Well, she did say Lloyd's. So do look up at that one, guys. Someone else is saying this is my sign to leave Lloyd's because I've had nothing but problems with them. They asked me to approve a £20 payment, but never approve a payment of £2k. Figures. That's when I clocked they're a joke. The next one's an insane one. It's somebody who spends $1,000 on something while they're employed. Let's take a look.
I have not made a bad financial decision in a while until yesterday. Everybody say hello to my new freaking treadmill. She's so cute. Now let me tell you why it was a bad financial decision. I get my last half severance check next week, which means I will quite literally be living off my savings. And I spent $1,000 on a treadmill, which low-key is...
It's a bit risky, isn't it? Unemployed, getting a lad's pay come through, and she spends money on a treadmill. She's living life on the edge.
Such a good deal. I told myself that it was going to be my reward to myself if I get this job, which no word yet, so I'm kind of stressing. But Sam's Club had a deal on this treadmill for like literally $1,000, and they're normally like $1,600. And I was like, I'm gonna be pissed if I waited 2 weeks and that treadmill's no longer on sale, and they only had 3 like left in stock. So I bit the bullet and got it anyway. And no, I didn't save for it, obviously, because, you know, unemployment. So I literally spent
$1,000 on a treadmill. I mean, I've got a treadmill. It didn't cost me anywhere near that much. A couple of £100. Why spend that much money on a treadmill? I don't know.
I spent $1,000 of my emergency fund. That's for me to live off of. It's not the end of the world. We do have like $25,000 in there on a treadmill. And I don't necessarily feel guilty about it yet. Ask me again in a few months. But the truth is, I love running. I have not been running because it's so freaking cold outside. I hate being cold. I hate running in the cold. So I'll literally drive clear across town to the gym just to get on the treadmill and then leave. I also do Pilates, and I'm like, it would be...
There's nothing wrong with going to the gym. Might be better for you in the long run, really.
And I'm like, it would be so nice to have a treadmill at home so I could literally go to Pilates and then come home and run.
I mean, I do kind of get this one. I mean, she wants to stay fit. She wanted a treadmill. She doesn't like going out to run, so she got one, and it was on sale. But timing does matter. Spending from your emergency fund is risky, especially when you're unemployed and there's a whole degree of uncertainty out there. A deal isn't a deal if it derails your saving plan. Wants versus needs. Needs become before wants. Always assess things, guys, before you hit buy. Again, let's have a look at some of the comments, guys. Start making fitness content and write it off as your business expense. You won't regret it. Such a convenience. Yeah, smart advice. If she likes making content, why not do that? Someone else is saying the best financial decision for your health. I couldn't agree more. Health is important, but not so good for your bank balance. Someone else is saying here, treadmill, glad you like them. I have to run, walk outside, the sweat in my house. Well, yeah, there's always the gym as well. So our next lady is returning a Tesla, but there are hidden costs when returning a car. Let's find out.
Girls, I'm begging you to think twice before getting a car on finance or leasing one. There are so many hidden costs that you just don't even know about in the small print, and it's probably the last thing that you're thinking about when you are getting your brand new spanking car. You probably just want to sign everything, hand over the money and drive away. But there are so many hidden costs, and a lot of the contracts are for only 4 years, and after the 4 years you have to give the car back, and the condition that they expect the car to be back in, yeah, it's going to cost you money. So I'm sitting with this.
They basically expect your car to come back to them in a pristine condition. I mean, they do say that before you take it out, usually insurances that you can take out, things like alloy wheel cover if your alloys get chipped, insurance that covers the bodywork, paint chips. And it's always worth taking that out if you know you might be returning your car at the end of the agreement.
Tesla now that I need to give back in a month's time, and it's going to cost me about £1,000 to be compliant with their checklist, and that's £1,000 that I didn't really realise or look at until the last 2 months when they contacted me to try and get me to re-sign another contract to take out another Tesla for another 4 years. And to be honest, I'm never ever going to be getting a finance car ever again.
That is one of the things they do try and do. So just before your agreement's over, they'll normally give you a call to see if you'll buy another car. That way, any chips or dents or any damage done to your car, minor damage that is, they'll just sort of look over. You can hand your car back and take out a new car.
Rather have a push bike. I'm never ever doing it again. I've done it so many times, and I can't tell you how much more free I'm going to feel without having a car on finance anymore. I just don't even care. I think I'm over it completely. Like, yeah, I fell into the trap. I can drive this flashy car, but what? Like, I'm paying so much money for this car, I might as well live in it.
This one, it does hit hard, doesn't it, really? And I think a lot of people fall into this trap as well. I mean, leasing kind of glamorous. Everyone wants to drive a nice car. I mean, who doesn't? I'm sure you all know people who've done this. But long term, you are purchasing something that just depreciates in value the moment you drive it off the forecourt. The freedom she talks about when she gets out of this financial agreement, now that's real freedom. And there are ways around it, though. I mean, you can own the car at the end of it. There's something called a HP agreement. Something that I've done a few times in the past. You get to own the car at the end of your finance agreement. Yes, it's worth a lot less than when you first purchase the car, but you still have the car at the end. It's probably still in really good condition. You can drive for a good number of years. You're not having to make any monthly payments, and your quid's in, really. So let's have a look at some of the comments again, guys. So someone's asking, how much do you pay? And she actually replies with, I'm going to get a lot of stick for this, but £500 a month. That's just crazy. How can you justify spending £500 a month? Mind you, it is a Tesla, so I imagine, they're not very cheap. Someone is saying, when the newness of the car wears off, the payments then become a pain. Yeah, I suppose you're paying for a second-hand product after a short while. Someone else is saying here, I'm 30,000 miles over. Can't wait to see the bill. Oh my God. The lady here, I think she replies with, I'm sure mine is 25 pence per mile over the agreed limit. So yes, guys, when you take out one of these deals, there's a certain amount of mileage you can do. And when you go over the mileage, they charge you a certain amount per mile. 30,000 miles over. That's a lot. So I hope you took something away from these videos, guys. Which one did you relate to the most? Drop your comments below. Now, I've been making a few videos now. I really hope you're enjoying them. I'm really enjoying creating content. I'm relatively new to this, but I'm really enjoying what I do. Please show some love. Put some comments below. Tell me what you'd like to see in future videos. If you enjoy this and want to see more so we can talk about real issues, please hit that like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you never miss another upload. My name is Mo. This is Revolux Talk, and I'll see you guys on the next one.